Now, let's get into today's story video.
My crazy ex wants me back. Oh boy, I never thought I'd hear from this crazed nutjob again. TLDR, crazy ex from near 15 years ago wants me back. Somehow found out my new number. Also edit fixed some mistakes caused by typing while still upset years ago. I started dating a girl online. She lived on Kent, UK. I live further north, let's say. We were getting along great. We had made plans for get to come to me for a weekend. When I get FB message from her ex. Now we will call him Bob and her Katie. His message was basically, why you chatting with my GF? She's mine. No one else can even lure at her. Following that, loads of threats to ruin my life etc. Turned out he had been kicked out of his new GF's place. He is a serial cheat, and unemployed after getting bounced from the army as a PT instructor for being too out of shape to do his job. He had basically begged Katie to take him back. Katie took pity on him and let him sleep in her garage on a camp bed. He OFC thinks that's them back together. Anyways, he goes after me online when I refused to drop Katie. Turned PPL on me, tried to get my FB account banned. He even threatened to kill me after getting drunk and stealing get phone while she was doing laundry. Got a restraining order. Carried on. Katie comes down, we have a great weekend. She even said that her daughter approved as I was a nice bloke for a change. We meet a few more times than it happens. He calls her and begs her to take him back or he's going to kill himself. She dumps me over the phone, goes back to him and goes crazy. The biggest one being I come home from work to see my FB lit up like mad by PPL asking if I was okay. They had made a group to bash me and ruin my life, but my friends who were still friends with them got it closed down after they tried to say I was a. Since then I blocked all contacts, got a restraining order on them both. Moved on. Every few months I'd get a new chat request from an unknown account. It would always be Katie. Upset that once again he'd run off with someone else and wanted me back. Me in new relationship at the time, told her that she had made her choice, I have moved on. She would keep making new account every time he cheated on her. I didn't hear from her for ages. Then today, I have changed numbers, cars etc. She calls me. I have no idea how she got the number I have now. It's the same different day from her, only now he's run off with her daughter. Demanding I take her back, and her 15-year-old she had with Bob. Take them in, and I know you are in poor health. I can move in and be your carer and we can be a family. You will love the daughter, Mia. Throws a massive tantrum when I snap and tell her to FCK off. She goes on a rant about knowing I'm single and crippled and need her to look after me. Never knew about Mia till today. Blocked her and spent last 20 minutes shaking with my fave dialysis nurse calming me down. Guess I'm losing this number. Just needed to vent about this, I guess. I can't believe she actually think I would take her back 12 years later. Normally I struggle to say no to PPL, but today I at least managed, even if I'm now feeling stress. Story 2. Military wife cheating. Background: married to a best friend of mine. She had lots of partners during our friendship, some over 30, with lots of drama, cheating etc. Me being me, got into lots of drama as well, so we shared our troubles regularly, like a makeshift therapy sessions. Later we got together, but a vibe of trusted friends still being with us. I could describe our relationship as nearly perfect, with a good share of troubles, yet with a good share of communication and dealing with problems together. It came to be a motto: any problem can be solved with your mouth, no reference to oral sex whatsoever. All that looked like a good healthy relationship, with a base of that kind of trust you can see in best friends. Then, the war started, and I could not help but volunteer at frontline, and then enlisted in actual army. It was my choice, not legal obligation, yet I could not stay home, for my moral obligations. That hit our relationship hard, with her staying at home, coping with all that war-related SHT, feeling troubled about me being in the deepest of SHTS, and feeling alone and abandoned. On the other side of equation was me, PTSD ed as FCK and depressed, unable to support her in any reasonable way, and going more and more down with every talk with her. I can't really point why, but as the SHT got too deep to handle, I gathered the last of my will and tried to steer our communication towards some better, and I did better. We tried to reconcile and come to terms with my leave for army. We talked like a lot lately, and increasingly more on sexual stuff. Talked about trying or swinging, among other kinky stuff. Some day later she called me late at night, literally crying, that she made up with our common friend, F, married, we'll call her V, who stayed overnight at our place for some reason. To put some more perspective, V, her husband, call him X, my wife and me, before wartime, worked at the same place. Lately my wife works shifts with X as her partner, and as I visited them at work, could not help but notice some strange vibe between them. She got touchy with X, which I pointed out, got an explanation in lines of that's the usual vibe, very friendly one. Still, asked her to stop, as I was feeling uneasy. I had a few days of vacation, and we had some more serious talks about swinging and stuff, so she proposed to get with 5 and 10. Inexplicably, we did the very next day, and X was very tense about it afterwards, yet we let it slide. We had lots of talk with wife about that, and got to the topic of cheating, like, first time through our whole relationship. We reassured each other that the trust is above everything, and if some cheaty stuff ever happened, we could talk to each other no matter what. Spoiler alert, she was already cheating at this point. After that swing experience and deep relationship talks, I felt pretty buffed about it. I felt better than ever, and that changed the way we communicated after my vacation was over. Like, way more positive and supporting, on both sides. Few weeks later, I managed to get another vacation, being right now, as I write this post. Things changed a bit. 10 and 5 got into some trouble with landlord, and wife lets them stay in our house for a while. Also, they are neck deep into relationship-wise, to the point of self-harming, nearly suicidal v and alcohol abusing X. The day I arrive, which is today, all three of them are at work for a 24-hour shift, X and my wife working on same team. So, as I am home alone, feeling lil, got to watch some porn. I grab her laptop, with no other big screen available, open it up, get into jacking off to trannies, and boom, right in my face, Viber push notification. X writing literal I love you to my wife. And SHT me not, I reach for their messaging, of which I am deeply sorry, I should not have done such an abominable thing. Here goes all the stuff, sing, describing their intercourses in great detail, etc. Yet more hurtful was I love you, literally all over, from both of them. You know, literally 2 weeks after deep relationship talks and profound trust buildup. Okay bro, inhale exhale, first thought, it's a late night, got to wait for her to come back from shift, with 5 and 10, BTW, as they are staying at our place, and confront her. Next thought, I will undo myself if I won't talk to her immediately. So I did, called her in the middle of a night shift, and I honestly cannot remember what I told her, or what she told me. Few hours later, I practiced some good old self-harm, which I did last time some 6 to 7 years ago, which I find a pretty effective way to reduce anxiety and find the peace of mind. Wife managed to get home in the middle of the night shift, for like 2 hours, and we talked hell out of situation. For FCK's sake, she was regretful as FCK, literally crying, swearing she wanted to tell me herself, but couldn't find the courage to tell me by phone. Told me she was doing that for the past month, out of loneliness and being angry for me enlisting to army. Also told me, that latest buff in our long-distance relationship encouraged her to tell me the truth, and she was just waiting for me to come home for vacation. I couldn't even feel anger, disgust or else. Like, I just tried my best not to hurt her with my words, as she seemed hurt enough by herself. I couldn't find any urge to break up either. I just tried to comfort her, and then decide what to do. We talked hell lot. She told me it will not happen again. We both said that from now on there has to be only truth between us. I asked her to tell me the story in detail, and she did. She told me about X comforting her when she cried out of loneliness, told me that she felt some deep attraction to X, and in the very next sentence that it was only a SX, physical. We talked about saving our relationship and regaining trust and all around that. She literally asked me to call her names, to say something offensive or even hit her. I couldn't do a thing but to comfort her. Then X came to grab her for the rest of the shift, and I confronted him as well. As I am literally a right-wing SH Ted serving an army, X seemed to await for physical treatment, as he described a knife to the chest the moment I stepped through the door. I literally could do that mentally, yet I felt no aggression. We talked a bit, as he was not on the talkative side, yet expressed his regrets, saying he screwed up big time. Wife told him outright that their affair must stop, yet insisted on staying friends and work partners. Which I asked her not to. So just now they both left for the rest of the night and I am all by myself with all this SHT. I don't know what to do, like, for real. I want to try put everything back in trust and love lines, and I love my wife, yet I am not sure how I will treat her later on. I am scared of bringing up this topic now and then, turning our relationship into a nightmare. I am scared of not being able to trust her again. I am hella scared that my love for her will change into anger or disgust. I don't want to hurt her, and I am not sure I will able to manage this properly, if our relationship will survive. I overheard a similar drama happening to my roommate, and that's unbearable, to love, yet to be disgusted of her. Also, what the FCK should I do about 10 and 5 situation? I think about that nearly as much, as about my own situation, and I feel I should tell V her husband cheated on her. Yet considering her self-harming nearly suicidal state I am outright afraid to tell her. Wife and X also asked me not to tell her a thing, but I am not sure whether I'll be able to play that role in the morning, when the four of us will be cramped in our house. I feel like all four of us are in a deep SHT and I feel I can't help it at all. Tomorrow I must leave for army camp, so I do not have enough time to sort this out. Whatever advice you have I'm willing to take. As I thought of my closest friends, I couldn't think of any person who would advocate for saving this relationship, so I am in a dire need for such reassurance.